Hello Aries friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Aries February 2023 Astrology Horoscope forecast. This is for you if Aries is your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, or any other placement that you have for Aries that you are listening for. What we're going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture, and if you are a very late degree Aries, so we'll say April 15th through the rest of the sign, or around 23 degrees or so of an Aries placement through the rest of the sign, then I also suggest you listen to my Taurus report because you very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. I'm calling the theme of the month for Aries outrageous goals accomplished because there are so many factors for this month that will give you a chance to really start accomplishing the things you've set out to do in the past that were delayed through various retrograde cycles, including our ruler, Mars. I say our because I have Aries rising. So this report is for me too. But Mars had been retrograde until last month, and it's still not quite out of its shadow period yet. But every day into February, we gain more and more steam and clarity. But that delayed a lot of things is the point. We had a very retrograde second half of 2022, and that really, might have interfered with us reaching certain goals, and things could have been put off due to some of our internal factors or due to external factors, but put off nonetheless. And now we're in a cycle where your chance for accomplishing outrageous goals is so much more pronounced. And this also can be a time where you are setting outrageous goals with all of these seeds being planted for them to be accomplished in the future. This is a very, very magical time for Aries. This is a very special and important time for Aries. I'm going to talk about all the layers of why that's so. So the first thing to know is that we do have another month here in February of more sweet aspects compared to salty aspects. And this isn't everything, but it is something. Sweet aspects are when the planets are getting along, and salty aspects are when they're not. And those are like little road bumps. So, when we have a profile like we do this month of more sweet aspects, you feel that because there are fewer road bumps and nicer kisses along the way. The next thing that's really important to take into consideration when understanding the nature of this month for Aries is that we are in a break from the heaviest parts of the eclipse cycles. Okay, so January, February is the most free that we've been from the eclipses that happened towards the end of 2022. And we haven't yet had the April-May eclipses start rearing up. We'll start to have the eclipse season begin in March. And that's why this is noteworthy now here in February, because the Taurus-Scorpio eclipse cycle has been a little rough for many Aries placements. A lot of shuffling around of me, we, my stuff, our stuff, financial matters, lots of heavy stuff has gone on, and a lot of karma has been cleared. And hopefully you're starting to feel a little bit more free from some karma that cleared in that time. But this is really noteworthy also because when the next eclipse cycle starts, the season of which is going to start in March, the eclipses actually happen in April, May. Not only do we continue with the second to last set of Taurus, Scorpio, energies, which end at the end of 2023, we also start working in the Aries Libra eclipse cycle. And that is going to be active from 2023 into 2025. So radical change is happening for Aries very soon. Think about 1995 through 1997. Think about 2004 to 2006. Think about the end of 2013 through 2016. The kinds of changes that went on then. Now, if something bad happened in those time frames, don't worry. It's not necessarily going to happen that something like that will happen again. It's just if you think of the types of changes and the types of profound, in some cases, life-altering experiences, for better or worse, that happened in those eclipse cycles, you're about to step into this again, but not yet. So even though, sometimes we experience something very early in an eclipse cycle, for the most part, February is like a little period of time before all of that happens. So it's very precious in that way. Everything is turning on and flipping forward for you to move forward. And not only is Mars, our ruler, zesty in your ambitions and your dreams and your ideas and your energy levels, and all of that can be on supercharge again, but also every planet that we look at the main planets we look at in Western astrology are all direct, and it's very uncommon for this to happen. So in February, this is happening, okay? So we've got the break from the eclipses. We have more sweet than compared to salty. We've got life about to change radically in many crazy ways over the next couple of years for Aries, but we got a little lull before that really starts taking shape. And we've got the first and longest open window of direct planets of 2023. And we won't have another time in 2023 where all the planets are going direct. That's something unique for this time. So when you couple those springing forward Aries energies that we do have starting this month, because we do have, of course, Jupiter's in Aries, we do have Venus getting into Aries. And so that, that zestiness, that aliveness, those ambitions, that will to move forward, the will to change, the will to create is going to be very strong. And you're going to have this wonderful open window. When I talk about an open window of direct planets, that means all forces are saying go, do, activate, make happen, as opposed to the retrograde planets that we've been really dwelling with over the last, there's been a very strong trend for the last 6 months. We started the shadow period for Mars being retrograde in September, has really said go inward, go backward. Take things slow, maybe you're not supposed to be doing this particular thing. Like it's very internal, very introspective, but not the energy we're having in February. This is all prospective. This is all proactive. This is all pushing forward. And this is a place where Aries can really, really shine. Now, the title that I have, the theme that I have for you this month, Outrageous Goals Accomplished. Whether they're being accomplished now because of the lag time, from what we've just gone through, and now you're activating these goals, or whether it's you're setting goals for the future. I love the idea of setting outrageous goals, because when you set a goal very high or far, even if you've missed the mark, you're still going to go further than if you set them low. And this is something that Aries really understands. So I want to just kind of remind you of that this really is a time to shoot for beyond the stars, because the sky is not even the limit of what can be accomplished now or what can be set in motion for the future. Okay, so let's talk about more support that we have. Besides the fact that everything is moving direct, despite the fact that our ruler is going direct, we also have things shifting from this energy of vacillation. Okay, so Mars being in Gemini for such an inordinately long time has really left a lot of people deciding between two options and not knowing which ones to pick. So and this is not a comfortable or a common place for many Aries placements to be, because we're pretty decisive, we're pretty clear, we're pretty action-oriented in general, unless you have something else superseding in your chart. That is a tendency of Aries placements. So Mars moving through Gemini, which kind of tends to, look at the two different options, see all the sides to things, has been really paralyzing, for us, which we have not liked. And now, even though it's not going to move out of Gemini until March, again, since this combination of things moving forward and getting closer to the part time where it shifts, there's something about this time where things that you were not clear about may very well become crystal clear, or at least you're starting to see a direction it's going and you see that clarity coming. So even though this is an amazing time to activate change for your big launches, to make your big decisions, if you don't feel super clear or things aren't super ready yet, you still have all of March and the beginning of April before we start to dive into, another Mercury retrograde cycle. So you've got a nice period of time where if clarity's coming but not quite there, that you can let it evolve. So Jupiter in our sign only happens for around a year every 12 years. And even though it can exacerbate problems, that is an effort to expand. If there is an issue with a foundational piece that you can't build your skyscraper higher because the foundation isn't ready, then Jupiter may say, hey, there's a problem here. There's a symptom in your physical body. There's an issue with something you're trying to do. It may be calling out that there are some foundational issues that need to be tended to so that you can build your skyscraper of whatever you're building higher and stronger than you would have if you didn't have these challenges come up. So if Jupiter's exacerbating something for you, then just understand the nature of Jupiter that way. Now, you've got the first house of your physical body lit up like crazy with short and long-term energy. So this theme of healing your body, strengthening your muscle, increasing your vitality, changing your wellness practices are, really, really front and center for you. And the chances for you to make headway are very, very, very high. This also has to do with your image out in the world, or what you call yourself. Between the combination of Pluto starting to really finish its work in your 10th house of work, it's been there for 14, almost 15 years, and Jupiter in your first house, there's this starting like a redefinition or just a change, a reinvention of how you see yourself. So you might find that last year you started to get interested in studying something or becoming something or doing something a different way with how you present yourself into the world, what you call yourself, what your work is. If before you were an engineer, now you might be wanting to redefine yourself as an artist or vice versa. So it's a time that's very strong with being able to set goals like this for yourself of how you want to be known, and really either making major headway or having the seeds planted that will grow very strong in the future. We also have some really sweet aspects in the stars and water placements that are lighting up your place of just like hidden, more private connections with others. This is a time where some intimate relationships, whether they're romantic or just heart connections, can really thrive. Some advancement can be made with your inner psychology, with issues with family, real estate things, ancestral problems or opportunities are really, they're really getting lit up now. And it might be helpful for you to be a little vulnerable. I know that's not our favorite place to be, but a little vulnerability here in the right context could open you up to some really wonderful experiences and some breakthroughs, including allowing yourself to have these dreams and, really feeling like you can make things happen. So that place of that private wish, that private intention, is very strong. And following your intuition and taking opportunities to connect with others can really go very far at this time and bring you a lot of fulfillment. You might have some private financial dealings that you're still kind of working on in the backdrop, or work dealings or relationship dealings where you're not quite ready for a big announcement in those departments. But the time is coming soon. Okay, so if you're not quite ready, there is still a little bit more like privacy, secret, protective energy around certain ventures. So even though this energy is getting rowdy, you still have a little more time for it, and there may be certain things that need to be protected a little bit longer. The sun making a beautiful aspect with your placement, and Mars also. Mars has been making a beautiful aspect with your placements for all this time. 60-degree angle in either direction can bring a lot of opportunities that you have to recognize and activate. Networking, friendships, teams, groups, local opportunities, people nearby, writing, seeing yourself as part of a team and part of a community. All of these things are going to light up very strongly at this time. 2 dates to note. February 5th, days around there, full moon in Leo, 16 degrees. This is a time to allow yourself to create, express, and have fun. Fellow fire sign, full moon can bring a massive amount of fun and a lot of expression. And everyone will be feeling the goodies from that, especially the fire placements. But the closer you are to 16 degrees, so we'll say 11 degrees through 21 degrees, the closer to 16 degrees, the more kiss you get here. And so that's like April 1st through April 11th, the closer to her on April 6th. Could be a little bit dramatic, for better or worse, hoping since it's in a nice angle for you all that it won't be negative drama, but definitely, Leo rules drama and full moons tend to bring it out. So just kind of look out around that time. The days around February 19th to 20th, we've got a new moon in Pisces. And this is, back to this energy of allowing yourself to really dream and imagine and feel your way into a new reality. Find something new out about yourself, discover something new out about yourself, a spiritual awareness or awakening, or surrender a problem to the divine. We'll definitely talk about Pluto getting ready, to go into Aquarius here in March, more in March and beyond. But just kind of know that there are a lot of things that have been very difficult for a very long time that are very likely going to start to turn your way. And that is something very exciting and hope-inspiring. If you want more information about dates that are important for this month, aspects that you will notice and how they may manifest, definitely sign up for my free email newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com, and you'll get my write-up for each month, which will give you a more clear picture of the dates and what things are going on for you to look out for. If you want my full 2023 retrograde and direct calendar to help you align your choices with the natural rhythms of the universe, sign up for my exclusive content portal at anniebastrology.com. Annie, the letter B in astrology.com, anniebastrology.com. So that is, all of these links I'm sending you or giving you are in the notes underneath the video or podcast. If you want to learn astrology to be a professional astrologer and earn money doing what you love, studying about the stars, I can help you with that. So you can go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com, and I will love to help you become a professional astrologer. Have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month.